The next question, the member for York South Weston.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Premier. Back in August, I met with Ontario Association of Optometrists and heard their concerns of having adequate funding to perform their valuable services. Eye care is health care, and families in Ontario now no longer have access to OHIP-coveraged eye care, eye exams. Mr. Speaker, I am asking the government to negotiate in good faith with optometrists in providing the funding needed so children and seniors receive their care they need now.
To reply, the Minister of Health.
Well, thank you, Speaker, and thank you very much to the member for the question. First, let me say that all OHIP-funded services for both children and seniors are available. This government is continuing to pay for those programs. However, we are disappointed that the Ontario Association of Optometrists has refused to come back to the table, to come back to mediation with us. As I've indicated before, you can't mediate when there's only one party at the table. So we are asking the optometrists to come back to the table, for the association to do that. We are interested in working with them, besides the $39 million payment, for past losses that have already been paid. We want to look at future losses. We're back to April 1st. We've indicated we're prepared to pay increases at 8.48%. We also want to understand about their overhead expenses, but we won't learn more about it if they won't come back to the table. So would you please urge the people that you're speaking with to urge the association to come back to the table so we can get working together?
My question back to the Premier. My office has been flooded with letters and calls from families whose children and elders are suffering right now from no access to vision care. This is an unacceptable situation, and it is started back in 2004 when the Liberals delisted routine eye exams from OHIP. This government has continued the legacy of CATS, and optometrists now trail the rest of the country in receiving fair compensation for their professional services. When is this government going to make a serious attempt to put an end to this unnecessary situation and act with urgency that is required, Mr. Speaker?
Minister of Health.
Thank you. Well, certainly one thing that I can agree with the member upon is the fact that the previous contract for the optometrists expired in 2011, and nothing was done by the previous government for many, many, many years. That is something that this government is trying to work on and to restore. That is why we have been asking the optometrists to come back to the table. We are continuing to fund those OHIP services for children and for seniors, but we want the optometrists to come back to the table so we can understand all of their issues. We have already dealt with the funding losses that they've had since 2011 to the present. We've gone retroactively to increase payments by 8.48% from April 1st of this year. We want to establish a working group to truly understand what their overhead costs are. We are more than willing to come back to the table. We urge the Ontario Association of Optometrists to do the same, that we can restore these issues and make sure that everyone has the eye care.
Thank you very much.